The cafe went quiet when the girl asked it. Not loud. Not angry. Just small and careful, like she was afraid the question itself might cost money. She stood there in a thin coat dusted with snow, hands trembling, staring at the empty chair across from the man in the tailored suit. Is this seat only for the rich? Every spoon stopped clinking. The Christmas lights flickered softly above them. And the man, one of the most powerful CEOs in the city, looked up like someone had just pulled him out of a dream. Before we go any further, if stories about simple kindness and unexpected human connection warm your heart, take a moment to subscribe to Kindness Teles, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let me tell you how that one small question changed 2 lives forever. It was 3 days before Christmas, and downtown Chicago looked like something out of a postcard. Store windows glowed with gold lights, fake snow sprayed across the glass, and carolers sang off-key near the train station. People rushed past with shopping bags and red scarves, faces flushed from the cold. Inside a corner cafe called Holly and Bean, the air smelled like cinnamon and espresso. It was the kind of place where office workers came to warm up and college kids typed on laptops for hours. At the table by the window sat a man who looked like he belonged in a magazine. Dark wool coat. Polished shoes. Silver watch that probably cost more than most people's rent. His name was Daniel Mercer, though most people in the city knew him as Mr. Mercer, the CEO who had built a tech company from nothing into a billion-dollar empire. His face had appeared on business covers and charity galas. People called him driven, brilliant, untouchable. But that afternoon, he didn't look untouchable. He looked tired. His coffee had gone cold. He hadn't taken a single sip. Outside the window, families laughed and took pictures with the giant tree in the plaza, but he barely noticed. He'd chosen that cafe because it was quiet. Because no one from the boardroom came there. Because Christmas, for him, had always felt like something happening to other people. His parents were gone. He never married. Work had been easier than relationships. Safer. The only decoration in his penthouse was a small artificial tree the housekeeper put up every year. He told himself he preferred it that way. Then the door chimed. A rush of cold air swept in with a girl who couldn't have been more than 10. Her sneakers were too thin for the snow. The laces were different colors, like they'd been replaced at different times. Her coat hung loose at the shoulders, clearly second-hand, the zipper broken so she had to hold it closed with one hand. She didn't look like the usual customers. The barista glanced at her, hesitated, then forced a polite smile. The girl walked slowly toward the counter, eyes scanning the menu like it was written in another language. She dug into her pocket and poured a few coins onto the counter. Pennies. Nickels. 2 crumpled dollars. She counted twice. Still not enough. Her shoulders slumped. Daniel watched without meaning to. Something about the way she tried to stand tall, even while counting coins, made it hard to look away. She whispered to the barista, asking how much the smallest hot chocolate cost. The number was more than what she had. The barista apologized gently. The girl nodded like she expected that answer. Like she was used to it. Instead of leaving, she looked around the cafe, searching for somewhere to sit, maybe just to warm up for a minute. Most tables were full. Except the one across from Daniel. He noticed her eyes land on it. Then on him. Then quickly away. She took one step forward, then stopped, as if crossing an invisible line. That was when she asked it. Is this seat only for the rich? The question wasn't sarcastic. It was honest. Like she truly didn't know the rules. For a second, Daniel didn't understand. Then it hit him. She thought she didn't belong. Because of him. Because of his suit. His watch. His quiet table with a half-finished pastry. He blinked, surprised by the tight feeling in his chest. No, he said softly. It's just a chair. She studied his face, making sure he meant it. Then she slid into the seat carefully, like she might break something. Up close, he noticed how red her hands were from the cold. "You waiting for someone?" he asked. She shook her head. "Just warming up. I'll leave soon. You don't have to rush." She nodded again, but kept her backpack clutched to her chest. After a moment, he asked if she'd ordered anything. She gave a small smile. "I was going to. But I'm a little short." Something about the way she said it, matter of fact, not asking for pity, stung more than if she had begged. Without making it a big deal, he waved the barista over and ordered 2 hot chocolates and a grilled cheese. "For both of us," he added. Her eyes widened. "You don't have to. It's Christmas," he said. "Humor me." When the food came, she stared at the steam rising from the mug like it was magic. She took one sip and closed her eyes. "It's really good," she whispered. He found himself smiling for the first time that day. They talked in small pieces at first. Her name was Lily. She lived a few blocks away in an old apartment with her mom, who worked double shifts at the hospital laundry. Her dad had left years ago. She liked drawing. She hated math. She wanted to be a teacher, so kids don't feel dumb like I do sometimes. She spoke with the kind of honesty adults forget how to have. He asked why she was out alone. She told him she'd been looking for a small Christmas gift for her mom. Something cheap. "Even a candle would be nice," she said. "Our place smells like bleach all the time." Daniel swallowed. He thought about the corporate gift basket stacked in his office. About the expensive bottle of wine someone had sent him that morning. Without thinking, he asked if she'd show him the store she'd been looking at. She hesitated, then agreed. They walked out together into the cold. Snow crunched under their feet. People stared a little, a powerful CEO walking beside a skinny kid with mismatched shoes, but neither of them seemed to care. She led him to a tiny dollar store wedged between 2 big retailers. Inside, everything smelled like plastic and pine-scented cleaner. She picked up a small candle in a red jar. $3. She checked her coins again. Still short. Daniel added the rest before she could protest. Then, on impulse, he grabbed a warm blanket, a pair of gloves, and a simple string of lights. "These two," he said. "Consider it my Christmas shopping." Her eyes filled, but she blinked fast, refusing to cry. "You're really nice," she said. "Most rich people don't talk to me." He didn't know what to say to that. Because she was right. Back at the cafe, they stood awkwardly near the door. He expected to feel like this was the end. A small, random act. Something he'd forget by next week. But he didn't want her walking home alone with that thin coat. So he offered to drive her. Her apartment building was older than he expected. Paint peeling. Windows cracked. Christmas decorations taped up inside like brave little attempts at cheer. Before getting out, she looked at him and said, "Thanks for letting me sit with you. I thought you'd say no." He felt something shift inside him. All those years building a company, making deals, buying things that impressed people, and the moment that mattered most was simply letting someone sit down. "Seats aren't for the rich," he told her. "They're for anyone who's tired." She grinned and ran inside. That night, his penthouse felt too quiet. For the first time, the silence bothered him. So the next day, he called his assistant and asked about the company's holiday charity budget. Then he tripled it. He started a program for local families, heating bills, groceries, kids' school supplies. He didn't put his name on it. He just remembered red hands wrapped around a hot chocolate. A week later, a small drawing arrived at his office. A picture of a cafe table, 2 mugs, and a little girl sitting across from a tall man. Above it, written in careful letters, were the words, "Thanks for sharing your seat." He framed it and placed it where everyone could see. Years passed, and that simple meeting became something he carried with him every day. Not as a grand story, but as a reminder that loneliness doesn't care how much money you have, and kindness doesn't cost as much as we think. Sometimes the biggest walls between people are just imagined ones, like thinking a chair belongs only to the rich. If there's anything this moment teaches us, it's that small gestures matter more than grand speeches. A warm drink. A shared table. Listening. Those tiny acts can light up someone's entire winter. So the next time you see someone standing alone, wondering if they belong, maybe make room. Slide a chair over. Offer a smile. You never know how much that simple kindness might change a life, maybe even your own. And if you've ever had a stranger show you unexpected kindness, share your story in the comments. Someone out there might need to hear it today.